Hello and welcome to Firstpost Spotlight, where we bring you stories that matter to you from all across the world. From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, we shed light on issues that shape our world. I'm Alison Lagrange, live from Durban, South Africa. Let's begin with the top headlines. Power restored across Spain and Portugal after a crippling blackout of unknown causes disrupted daily life for millions yesterday. The European Union's highest court rules that golden passport schemes for deep-pocketed foreign investors violate European Union law. This comes after Brussels filed a legal challenge against Malta. Russia shut about 62 miles of Black Sea beaches after a December fuel spill that has resulted in environmental damage claims of about $1 billion. Amazon launches 27 satellites for its Cooper broadband internet constellation into space from Florida, kicking off the long-delayed deployment of an internet from space network that will rival SpaceX's Starlink. And a court in Vietnam jails a former Deputy Minister of Industry and Trade for 6 years after finding him guilty of power abuse in a solar energy development plan. Hello and welcome. From the line of control to the United Nations, India continues to respond to the Pakistan-sponsored terrorist attack in Jammu and Kashmir's Pahalgam. In the latest, India called out Pakistan as a rogue state, one that is fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the Indian subcontinent. Speaking at a meeting of an anti-terrorism forum at the United Nations, Indian Representative Jagmeet Patel has highlighted Pakistani Defence Minister Khwaja Asif's public admission of fostering terrorism in the region. India pointed out that the whole world heard Islamabad's confession of supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations. The Indian representative added that this open confession exposes Pakistan as a rogue state to which the world can no longer turn a blind eye. The response came as India exercised its right to reply at the United Nations. Without naming Pakistan, India said it's unfortunate that one particular side misused the UN platform to indulge in propaganda against India. Listen in.
It is unfortunate that one particular delegation has chosen to misuse and undermine this forum to indulge in propaganda and make baseless allegations against India. The whole world has heard Pakistan's Defence Minister Khwaja Asif admitting and confessing Pakistan's history of supporting, training and funding terrorist organizations in a recent television interview. This open confession surprises no one and exposes Pakistan as a rogue state fueling global terrorism and destabilizing the region. The world can no longer turn a blind eye.
Amid India's continuous diplomatic strike on Pakistan, reports suggest that one of the terrorists who shot down unarmed civilians in Pahalgam is a former paracommando of Pakistan's special forces. Reports say the terrorist, identified as Hashim Musa, alias Suleiman, was possibly loaned by the Pakistan special forces to Lashkar-e-Taiba, specifically for the Pahalgam terror attack. Meanwhile, as Pakistan stands exposed before the world for its role in the Pahalgam terror attack, Islamabad now believes that an Indian attack is quote-unquote imminent. Pakistani Defence Minister Khwaja Asif in another interview said that given the current situation, an Indian incursion now appears imminent. As Pakistan's own leaders expose the truth of state-sponsored terror amid fears of Indian retaliation, New Delhi is drawing a firm line of not just accountability, but also the responsibility to defeat terrorism in the Indian subcontinent. While India is walking the talk, it's high time that the international community holds the rogue state of Pakistan accountable. Moving on, in Canada, the voters have delivered a massive blow to the pro-Khalistan politician Jagmeet Singh. As the North American nation gave the electoral mandate in favour of Prime Minister Mark Carney's Liberal Party, it simultaneously delivered an unprecedented setback to Jagmeet Singh-led National Democratic Party. The 46-year-old lost his own seat of Burnaby Central in British Columbia, where he finished third. The snap federal election also saw Singh-led NDP losing its national party status. As it failed to secure the required 12 seats in the Canadian House of Commons, the NDP, which held 25 seats in the outgoing parliament, is poised to win just 7 seats, a massive loss of 18 seats. Now, the emphatic rejection of Jagmeet Singh's anti-India politics was underlined with the NDP leader's resignation as party president. The 46-year-old said that he was disappointed that the NDP could not win more seats.
Tonight, I've been forward a party leader that I'll be stepping down as party leader as soon as an interim leader can be appointed.
Singh won his first election in 2019 from Burnaby, British Columbia. Starting 2022, Singh's party, the NDP, kept former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau in power for more than 2 years. He withdrew support from the Trudeau government in September of 2024. But even after that, in October of 2024, as Canada's ties with India nosedived last year following the row over terrorist Hardeep Singh Nijjar's killing, Singh supported Trudeau government's decision to expel Indian diplomats. Opinion polls had projected Singh's NDP to bolster its political fortunes in the Canadian elections. But projections did not quite pan out in the election results. Jagmeet Singh's NDP stands at 4th place with expected wins on just 7 seats. It stands far behind the Liberal Party's tally of 168 and 144 seats expected to be won by the Conservatives. A resounding electoral defeat, a lost seat, and a resignation. Jagmeet Singh's decline marks a clear rebuke by Canadians of his divisive anti-India politics. Backing terrorists and spreading hate did not prove to be a great strategy for the pro-Khalistan leader. And moving on, Australia's lucrative international education sector is facing a financial shake-up. The ruling Labour Party has announced plans to increase visa fees for international students, a move set to generate hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, this comes amidst the ongoing debates about immigration and its impact on the nation's housing market. If re-elected, the Labour Party intends to raise the international student visa fee to $2,000 Australian dollars. Now that's approximately $1,300 US. This is a significant increase from the current fee, which is over $1,000 US, which itself was more than doubled from nearly $450 US just last July. Now, according to Treasurer Jim Chalmers and Finance Minister Katie Gallagher, this hike is projected to generate nearly $500 million US over the next 4 years. However, the country's Conservative opposition isn't holding back either. They've pledged an even steeper increase, proposing a minimum visa fee of nearly $1,600 US and a staggering fee of over $3,000 US for applicants to the Australia's prestigious group of 8 universities. The government statistics reveal that nearly 200,000 international students arrived in Australia in February of 2025 alone, marking a 12.1% increase from the previous year, and a 7.3% rise compared to the pre-pandemic levels in February of 2019. Now, the sheer volume of international students has contributed to rising net migration, which in turn has put pressure on housing affordability. Australia's visa costs are significantly higher than those in comparable nations. For example, In the United States, the fee is around $185, and in Canada, it's approximately $108. In addition to the fee increase, last year the government also imposed stricter English language requirements for student and graduate visas and introduced measures to suspend education providers that repeatedly violate regulations. The Labour Party has also promised to cap international student commencements at 270,000 in the year 2025. While the opposition proposes a lower cap of 240,000, there were more than 1 million international students enrolled in Australia in 2024. Now, this highlights the delicate balance that Australia must strike, which is leveraging the economic benefits of international education while managing the associated pressures on housing and infrastructure. And for our last story today, let's move to the Philippines, where a palpable sense of anticipation hangs in the air as Catholics across the archipelago await the outcome of the next week's conclave in the Vatican. Following the passing of Pope Francis, the world's 1.4 billion Catholics look to 135 cardinals to choose his successor. And for many here, that gaze is fixed with particular hope on one man, Cardinal Luis Antonio Tagle, the 67-year-old from Imus, just south of Manila. Now, following Pope Francis's death, many worshippers at multiple cathedrals have their fingers crossed for the former Archbishop of Manila. Cardinal Tagle is the 7th Filipino to achieve the rank of cardinal. He was ordained as a priest in 1982 and was made a cardinal by Pope Francis's predecessor, Benedict XVI, in 2012. He has garnered the moniker Asian Pope Francis due to his reportedly progressive views, echoing some of the late Pope's stances. Cardinal Tagle has voiced his concerns about the Church's treatment of LGBTQ plus Catholics. And in a 2015 speech at Wembley Arena in London, Cardinal Tagle told young Catholics that severe and harsh stances by the Church towards LGBT people, divorcees and single mothers had caused lasting harm. Emphasizing mercy as a central theme, he later told the media that many people who belonged to these groups were branded, and that led to their isolation from wider society. Now, within the international Catholic press, Cardinal Tagle was already dubbed a potential future pope in the early years of Pope Francis's papacy. Now, due to his emphasis on pastoral solutions to contentious issues like divorce, which is still illegal in the Philippines. While signaling greater compassion, Cardinal Tagle has staunchly defended church positions on key issues, such as opposing government efforts to provide access to contraceptives. His name was even circulating as a potential candidate during the 2013 conclave that ultimately elected Pope Francis. If elected as the next pontiff, Cardinal Tagle would make history as the first Asian to lead the Catholic Church. Like Pope Francis, Cardinal Tagle's humble style appears to be a powerful part of his appeal. Being from the third largest Catholic nation, with a Chinese maternal grandmother, his rise to become the next pope would also send a powerful message about the Church's priorities. The selection of Pope Francis's successor will undoubtedly have a significant impact on the future trajectory of the Catholic Church and its relationship with the modern world. And that's all we have on the show for today. We will see you again tomorrow at the same time. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned to Firstpost.
From breaking news to the day's biggest controversies, shedding light on the world's top headlines, detailed analysis on the stories that matter the most to you. Catch it all on Spotlight at 6 p.m. India time and 12:30 GMT, only on Firstpost.